Hi everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta for TnyToe's Rat Rescue. We've just left the frontier town of Regole there, and we're going to head south down to the castle. We were told to stay away from that castle, which means that we definitely want to go visit it. So, hey, there's the castle. Apparently in this castle, there were the legendary sealed weapons, so let's go see if the rumor is true. Now, we want to have an ability, the flee ability for this area, because there's some really tough monsters, and they're kind of tough to run away from, so we're going to have flee on TnyToe, and blue magic is going to be really useful in the next dungeon that we go to, so we're going to give that to Lenna there. And we made it all the way through the castle, and here we are in the sealed room area. Galuf checking around, jumping Jehoshaphat. These must be the 12 legendary sealed weapons. So these were used in battle 1,000 years ago. They've all turned to stone. Guess you can't expect much more from stuff that's a millennium old. Alright, let's just check out the things. And there's the Yoichi's bow. We'll use that one. The fire lash, that's a whip. The sage's staff, won't be able to use that. That's for white magicians. The rod for black wizards and blue mages. Apollo's harp for bards. The Gaia bell for geomancers. Excalibur for knights. Assassin's dagger, the thieves can use that. A bunch of other classes can too. Sasuke's katana, that's for ninjas. The holy lance for dragoons. The rune axe for berserkers, and finally we have the Mazimune for samurais. So, surprisingly, those weapons, there are actually some weapons that are actually better than them in the game, but they're usually like rare steals. So, yeah, but for the most part, those are really good weapons. There's the shield dragon. They're really tough to defeat. Once you reduce them to about 50% of their hit points, they run away. So we don't have the means to really defeat them right now, so we'll just run away and continue onward. There's not really much place to go here, so the game kind of railroads you to move in one direction, so because we're either blocked off by mountains or water, so just want to head through this area and want to make sure we get into a fight in this where the land is a little darker. That's kind of like a swampy area, because we want to meet this enemy here, the Mandrake. They only appear in those swampy type areas, so a little flower there, we'll take it out. And we've already seen the Devourers earlier, so but there's also a pretty tough enemy here, the Kuzo beast. I'll come back and fight it later. I could potentially defeat it now. If you run into it and you have a blue mage, they are susceptible to the Deathclaw blue magic spell. So what those enemies do is they basically just keep using that one blue magic spell where they deal damage based on the amount of hit points they've taken. And they have like 5,000 hit points, so pretty much they'll be one-shotting most of your characters. So alright, we're forced into this forest. It kind of looks like a chocobo forest, but instead of having a chocobo in it, it has a little moogle in it. Yes, moogles make their first appearance here. What's a moogle doing in a place like this? Moogle? Yep, we actually get to play a moogle in Final Fantasy VI, Mog. Strange little critters that live in the forest. They're pretty timid though, so it's rare to see one. Let's help it. And Lenna always wanting to help the animals, so we hop down in the hole, and this is a short dungeon. It's made even shorter that, much like how the overworld was railroading us, there's currents here in the water that move us around, so there's not much exploration to do here. One thing you do want to do, though, if you have the ability to do it, is to have either a summoner or a black mage in your party, because a lot of the enemies down here will be weak to lightning. Being that they're in the water. We don't have access to lightning, so we'll just have to rely on our physical attacks to take care of these enemies. There are a few that are weak to fire though, so that's why I gave blue magic to Lenna there, because the blue mage does have some fire magic with that emission spell, so we'll get a little bit of mileage out of it. So you got these crab enemies here. They have some pretty high defense. It's kind of annoying. They usually come in big groups. This will be useful if Galuf's hammer does that little quake. Takes off basically like half their hit points, so that's pretty good. Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit of a weakness in this team. They don't really have a lot of multi-targeting abilities, so we do have the blue magic, that aqua breath, but these guys will absorb water, so can't really use it on them. So this is where that hammer is really coming through for us. It gives us that good direct damage that we want. So, donk. Now we have 2 ways to go here. We're going to get this treasure here. We can go over to the left. It's a little bit longer, so we're just going to go the shorter way, the right here. We're going to continue to get pushed around by water, so these guys have a pretty decent steal, the holy water. Holy water is the only way to get rid of the zombie status. So we're going to try to steal some holy waters. You can buy holy waters now, but hey, if we can steal it and get it for free, why not? This is where that fire's coming in handy to take out these blood slimes here. They use that vampire spell, so they could, you can also learn the blue magic vampire from them, but we learned that a long time ago. That was our first blue magic that we got. Back from those, whatchamacallits, back from the, vampire, the steel bats back in the pirate cave. So, yeah, we've, had that gone for a long time, so. Oh, we only have, one more enemy that we have to meet, and we can't meet it until we get to the final part of, this area. Now, if we took the other way, the left route, I would eventually ended up down by that, treasure chest, through that door there. Well, we want to pick up this treasure chest not only because we're going for 100% completion, but because that Phoenix down will be really, really useful against the boss of this area. So once we're in this area here, we can meet the final enemy. And here it is, the Lopros. And this one is also weak to fire, so we get some good uses out of our emission spell. Burn him down there. He has some pretty high defense and good evasion, so it's kind of tough to hit him with regular weapons. Yeah, he's not doing a lot of damage there, TnyToe. And unfortunately, Galuf's hammer, it won't procure that quake effect, so that's not very good. But oh well, we finished them off, and we've encountered all the enemies we can in this area. Be careful, Mr. Moogle. Kupo, Kupo! Uh-oh, got some big skeleton after him. It's the boss of the area, a Tyrannosaur. Now, we can use fire against him, or, what's even better than fire, throw a Phoenix down at him. Yep, we just picked one up at that treasure chest, yep. Instantly defeats him. Wow, easy boss battle. Way to go. And for some reason the Moogle's scared of us. We just saved you, Mr. Moogle. Lenna will use her charm. Oh, you must have been so scared. It's okay now, don't worry. Come closer. Kupo. It's alright now. Kupo, Kupo. She has definitely a way with animals. She's like a Disney princess. Because those Disney princesses, they like some of the older cartoons like Cinderella, they Snow White, they talk with the birds and stuff, so what's going on? Well, the Moogle is about to show us a special route. I think he's asking us to follow him. So notice the Moogle, he stepped in the desert and he shook his head. He's basically saying, hey, you don't want to step in the desert. There's a really tough enemy in the desert. So, if you don't go in the desert at all, you won't get into any encounters. So, we just follow the path that this Moogle shows us. And then we go one tile north of the edge of the mountain there, and then head over to the right, and we end up in the Moogle village. So let's listen to what the Moogle said, and we're just going to stay in the grass in the forest, avoiding the desert. We don't want to get into a fight with that enemy. We'll eventually fight it later, so we can fill out our bestiary, show off all the enemies, but not now. We need to be a little stronger, maybe get some better weapons and equipment. So let's just sneak around here. And remember, when we get to the mountain here, we go one tile up from the top of it, and then head over to the right, and eventually we find ourselves in the Moogle village. And all the Moogles get scared away from us. Ooh, and he's running into those flowers. Wow, he's really scared of us. Yep, nothing in the flowers. Kupo! Hey, there's one in that tree. But the door's locked. Yeah, all the doors here are actually locked, so... But they'll be unlocked after a little bit of a scene here, so... You see that Moogle hiding up there behind the tree? We sneak up and talk with him, he runs away. But then he'll stop, and he'll reconsider. And it turns out this is going to be the Moogle that we rescued. Look, it's the Moogle we helped! Yay, now he's going to help us. Are you thanking us? Yep. So Moogles can understand English, but we can't understand Moogle. Thankfully, there is somebody who does understand Moogle. We'll learn that in just a little bit. So we gotta get some really good equipment here coming up. Kupo! I think it's telling us we can have what's inside. Yep. Ether, Phoenix Down, 10,000 gil, 1 gil, Dancing Dagger, and the cottage. The Dancing Dagger is the most important. We're going to give that to our thief. The Dancing Dagger has a chance to do one of the dances. There are 4 different dances. There's Jitterbug, which steals MP. There's one that steals hit points from an enemy. There's a Tempting Tango, which confuses an enemy. And then there's a Sword Dance, which does 4 times the physical damage of a normal attack. So, there's a treasure chest there. We can't open it, though, because it's locked. But in here, we have a Moogle costume. And when we put that Moogle costume on, because then we can float with the Moogle in that tree over there where the treasure chest is, and he'll give us the treasure chest. And inside, we'll get our 3rd elf cape. Now, the reason the Dancing Dagger is so important is because that Tempting Tango. The Tempting Tango confuses an enemy, and it's one of the few ways where we're able to get some important blue magics. Because normally you'd have to use the Beastmaster's control ability, and then have the enemy use the blue magic on you. But sometimes if you confuse the enemy, it'll use beneficial blue magic on you. So that's how we're going to get some of the blue magics that we weren't unable to access because we don't have access to the Beastmaster class. So... very important, that dagger. What's going on? Why are you so excited? Kupo. Yep, it turns out that Krill can speak Moogle. It also turns out that Moogles are telepathic. So, the Moogles in the Moogle forest are able to communicate with this Moogle here. What's happened? It's Grandpa. He's in the Moogle village. Huh? Moogles can all communicate through telepathy. Even when they're far apart, they can contact with their minds. Amazing ability. The Moogle village, that's pretty far from here. Yes, plus the Windrake is too tired to fly. He rescued us all from Exdeath's castle. Well, we flew Galuf to rescue us from Exdeath's castle. So that means I see, thank you. He says he can go, but only once. If you're certain it's alright. Man, those Windrakes, they're not very hardy. He knocked over the Moogle. The one in Lenna's world was sick, and the home world, and now the one here in Galuf's world is sick. What's going on? Kupo. Huh? Nose? Oh. So yeah, I guess Kara can't find the... Krill. Kara's another name of the translation, from another translation. But Krill, she can't find the Moogle village. But the Moogles point out that actually the forest, it's shaped kind of like a Moogle head. To land in the nose. So right there. This is all taking place on under the control of the computer, so you don't have to find this. This takes place on its, the computer does it for you automatically. So you're not going to get lost trying to rescue Galuf and Lenna and TnyToe and Faris. Grandpa! How did you find us? The Moogles told me you were here. I guess Galuf doesn't know about the telepathy of the Moogles. It's a good thing they had a Moogle living in their castle. Grandpa, we should hurry back to the castle. Good idea. Well, that Drake is going to be really tired. It's going to be carrying 6 people. Yowzer. Well, 5 people and a Moogle. But still. That's going to be pretty tough burden to bear. And just like the Windrake coming to find us, this is actually going to be automatic. So yeah, the Windrake is just going to fly back to Galuf's castle on its own. So actually, they don't even show the entire area. They just kind of do a cutscene just like this, fade to black, and before we know it, we are back in the castle. We will learn a little bit more about Galuf and who he is. Yeah, he was like, is he like a general? I mean, he was leading an army? I'll take your Windrake back to his roost so we can rest, okay? Good girl. And the roost is right over there. Yeah, it's not like Castle Tycoon where the roost is really high up in the sky. So, I guess that's one benefit. He doesn't have to fly very far to his nest. Although I don't know why he's flying down, why Krill is flying down to the south. The roost is over there to the northeast. King Galuf! He's a king? I used to hold down the fort while I was gone. King Galuf. Yep, Galuf is a king. Wow, everyone's royal in this game except for TnyToe. What's this year's next death? There's been no activity since the barrier went up. I see, and our troops, they've been almost entirely wiped out by X-Death's monster hordes. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, sire. Oh, that was TnyToe. Huh? I thought you were just some crazy old man. You never said anything about being a king. Well, he had amnesia. He didn't have a chance to. This sure is a surprise and a half. Good job, men. Go get some rest. Yes, sire. And we will be exploring this castle in a little bit. See where they'll get their rest. TnyToe, what is it? You still got that funny look on your face. It's you, a king. Still can't get over it, that's all. What, you're saying that I'm not the epitome of kingliness? What? Uh-oh. You must have said something to make him angry. Just kidding. I just better mind my P's and Q's around you, King Galuf. No, a lot of Final Fantasy royals don't like their royal titles. Listen up. Before you knew me as a king, you knew me as a friend. Just Galuf is fine. Understood, Just Galuf. He took it literally. Don't push it, kid. Here in Ball, bad jokes like I got you punished. Like a pun. A play on words. I saw a theater production called Puns. It was a play on words. Now, I'm not going to really talk with all these people here. We'll do that on our next episode because we're getting kind of short on time. But I do want to head down here into this basement. Because it's locked here. How are we going to get in there? Well, we'll find out way much later in the game. But I wanted to just show off these new enemies here, these statues. They have a rare steel there, the Twin Lance. It's a really good knife. It basically attacks twice. Your thief can use it, but we're not really going to bother with it because, we have the dancing dagger, and that's more important for now, so. Our thief ain't really much of a damage dealer anyway, so. Those guys are really good for grinding ability points. They come in like groups of 2 or 5. the door in the basement won't open no matter what. So you can get a lot of ability points by fighting them, and they're really easy. You just throw a gold needle on them, like we were told in the home world there, that, hey, enemies that are made of stone are weak to the gold needle, so that's when we can defeat them really easily. But what's all inside Galuf's castle? We'll find out in the next episode. Take care, have a good day. Thanks for following along. Bye!